What? It's the wrong stupid camera. It's not. Let's try that again. We'll edit that bit out. There we go. That's better. HD quality camera online. How are we all? Hope you're all well. Let me just switch Matt so you can see my face as well. We've got a very special guest this evening. For some reason my computer seems to be running a little slower. Hopefully everything is working. You can hear me all right. Let's do a quick few hellos and then we'll bring in our special guest, which is of course Matt, who has been on before. Always entertaining. And yeah, I need to catch up with him, find out what he's been up to. Just, chew the fat or whatever. What is it you do when you're talking to someone? Something like that. Thank you, Carl. Carl's in. I guess before I go too much further, did you see Carl's live stream on Saturday, wasn't it? On Saturday. Carl made a big announcement. It's something that he's been working on over the last, months, I think. He's planning a big event. It's called Affiliate Gathering. It's going to be here in the UK, up in York, which is up the road, a fair way for me, but fine. I might be in Spain by that point anyway. But yeah, it's called Affiliate Gathering. Carl's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Morton's going to be there. Ricky from Income School is going to be there. We're going to be speaking. What I'm going to be speaking about yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. And there's going to be, chances to network. There's going to be a panel. Sean is going to be on the panel. Sean, he was on the live stream a couple of weeks back. And yeah, it's going to be a chance to just get to know people, make connections, meet us in the flesh to see what we're like in the real world. You'll probably be disappointed, but hey, it'll be fine. If you want to check out some info on it, it's affiliategathering.com. If you want to order tickets, Carl has kindly supplied me with my own link. If you go to wpeagle.com/gathering, you can order tickets there. I did a video on it just on Monday, so go check that as well if you want. But yeah, it'd be great to see you there. Sue's bought her ticket. Gaz has also got his ticket. Kieran's got his ticket. People are getting their tickets already. Fred has got his ticket. And yeah, I think Carl is going to buy everyone a beer. At least one. So definitely worth going. Anyway, let's do some quick hellos. Hello to Adrian, WP Eagle in the house. Fix. Hello, Fix. Good to see you. He's coming, but via the online way. Oh, I'm sure we could all have a whip round and get you a plane over here. Who else we got in? Gaz is in, as I said. Helen's in. Phil's here. And Sue. We've got Bradbury. We've got Baz. We've got CPA Marketer. We've got Dave. Fred, of course. Hope you're feeling all right, Fred. Hassan's in. JP's here. Jim, good to see you. Kieran, hello to you. Leona's here. Success. It's about a fantastic affiliate gathering event organised by Carl. Check out my video on Monday if you want more info. Who else we got? Revista WP, Steve Mack, Stuart Hunt, and of course Success is here too. But anyway, I think that's enough intro. Let's bring in tonight's guest. If I can find the green room. It is Matt. For those of you that don't know, Matt has got a very successful online business. It's called Swim University, where he helps people with their swimming pools and hot tubs and all that kind of stuff. He's also got his own YouTube channel, Money Lab. Do go check that out. And yeah, we'll just catch up with him. He's also been brewing. He's got his own beer YouTube channel. So let me just see if I can pop him over to the left. What? Oh, there we are.
I'm here.
You're there. Let me just adjust my camera. Get me a little bit kind of like that. Perfect. Matt, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. We already kind of did that in the green room, but yeah, let's
Yeah,
let's jump straight into it. For those people out there that don't know who you are, do you want to give a quick introduction? Just tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I mean the Swim University thing's true. That's one of my sites, and then I have moneylab.co, which is probably where most people know me, and then I have brewcabin.com, and I'm mostly a YouTube channel right now. But yeah, they're my three sites. I'm an affiliate marketer and product designer and musician, I guess. I found that out.
Brewer, yeah.
Tell,
yeah, well, Let's talk about that now. I just mentioned that I googled you earlier just to find some pictures of you ready for the thumbnail, of which there are
Sure.
many pictures of you
Hmm.
kind of doing this and this and this. There's loads on Google Images, so I
Yeah.
had plenty to choose from. But the first thing that came up on Google was the first thing that said was that you are a musical artist.
Apparently, yeah. That's
So
that's that's a dream
you,
come true there.
you
That was
have
not
you have your own rap album. Is this correct?
yeah, yeah. I have several, but I have one that's like actually out in the world. That you can buy and download and stream and all that. Yeah.
So how did you put it together? Tell us how did. I guess you like rap and you wanted to. I mean, I do some rapping as well. If you've seen the streams, but I've never put out an album. How did that come about?
Yeah. So, rap's not my favorite genre of music. I don't like listen to it all the time. Um, I just as a kid there was this. So it all started because in high school there was this like these group of kids, these three kids that did a rap song and started selling it in high school, like as a single CD, burn CD.
Okay,
And
was it
I
good?
thought yeah, it was good. And I thought it was so I had it in my head that it would be funny for me to do a song that disses them
Like a
and
diss track,
basically
yeah.
create a like a high school rap battle between these two groups. It was kind of my like grand idea. And I didn't really like wasn't like really friends with these kids, but like that was my idea because I was really inspired by what they did, and I'm like, oh, I think I could probably do that because I had done, music production my whole life. My dad owns a recording studio,
Okay.
so that's been my kind of like I grew up in a studio. So I kind of thought it would be fun to do because I knew I had the ability to do it, and so I threw a song together, came out with it. They got really upset, and
Oh,
then
really?
yeah, really upset with
Did you
it.
go?
Which
Did
I
you
was
go
like,
in a bit hard?
that
Did
wasn't
you?
what I was. I had to apologize to him because I'm like, I wasn't really like, trying to hurt your feelings. I was trying to create this like fun
Yeah.
marketing, like get the school and like you go this tracks back and forth would have been awesome.
Yeah,
But
they do it on YouTube all the
yeah,
time
so I ended up,
nowadays. Diss tracking each other,
yeah,
and it's just a thing. But well,
yeah,
they actually got really upset by it, did they?
they got really upset. Yeah, because I think they took it a little bit more serious than I did, and I didn't realize. I mean, the song was funny, so I didn't think they were taking it seriously, but they apparently were. And so, but then I took that, like my friends were like, "Oh my god, you can make music! Like let's make an album." And we made like this like album in like one night. It was just like freestyle, like nonsense, like no one should hear it. And then I kind of continued that for fun, like just like summer project, with my friends in my dad's studio. Like I'd write some beats. They would come over. We would sit down with notepads and start like writing out like lyrics and then recording them. And then I've put out in my all private stuff that only my friends have heard. I've put out like 4 albums, and then
Wow.
I had this idea. And I've done, real music too. Like I was in a band for a long time, and we have a couple CDs and a couple albums, and we toured and did all that stuff. But yeah, rap was kind of like the fun. I could be entertaining and funny and not take myself seriously. And so a couple years ago, I thought it would be an interesting experiment on Money Lab to basically um, come up with like can you make money recording your own album, and sort of like giving musicians like, hey, you could do this yourself, you don't need a label, and it's possible to make money. And so I decided to make an album in 30 days. So that was
Wow.
like my creative constraint, was like, okay, you have 30 days, how many songs can you actually make? A couple of the songs had been songs that I had done before, like I had written them before, but I redid them for the album. So I think there was like 2 or 3 songs. There was 3 songs that I had hooks for, and so I just basically recreated them from scratch. So they were easy, and then I hired, featured artists to come on. Some people I had to pay, some people like did it for, for fun. And that was how I was able to get like a lot of the album done without me having to write every single lyric. So I had other people come on and do like, featuring stuff. So and then the whole sort of like thread of the album is that I'm an entrepreneur, and an imperfect entrepreneur, which is why the album's spelled incorrectly, which most people didn't get, and that's fair.
It's ironic, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I did that in 30 days. That was super fun. Had a lot of fun doing it. I really want to do it again. It's like one of the things I'm most proud of. Like one of the most, the like thing that felt creative and it's a good story to tell, at the end of the day.
Well, I'm going to go listen to it. I've only listened to a little bit and I was impressed with what I heard. In fact, the first time I saw you rapping was in a music video, and this was a rap about cleaning swimming pools, I think it was.
Yeah, so I did that too. Also proud of that one. That one's an earworm. That's catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
with
me.
the music video. I mean,
again,
I don't think you did videos for the other album, did you?
So I have a video. So I have a couple. So like I did a video for the pool care one. That idea was like, hey, I have this site, I have this pool care website, and I also have this, this talent, right? So I was like, oh, let me just marry these two and see what happens, and I'm like, no one's gonna, it's like it was a marketing thing. So I did that. It worked really well in the pool industry. So I tried it again in the personal finance space, and that didn't do well. It got us some really good backlinks, but it almost was like, it's one of my better like raps, I guess, one of my better songs, because it does have a catchy hook, but then like the lyrics, I like worked really hard to make the lyrics good. So
what was that one about then in personal finance? What was it, like mortgages?
It's called All My Money. You can find it. There's a music video. I filmed it in New York with my friend Andrew, who we did it. We had a podcast called Listen Money Matters, and that was pretty big, and continues to be big. But that was a marketing ploy. I was kind of trying to duplicate the Swim University, rap model to the personal finance space. In personal finance, there's a lot of people who make rap albums because, rap music traditionally talks a lot about like the extravagance. And so everyone has the same idea that like, oh, what if we did like a save your money rap? Even Lil Dicky has done that. You know what I mean? So
whereas normally they're like just like flashing money. They got the money gun,
right? So it's the juxtaposition which makes that which everyone sort of like thinks they're being clever, but they're not.
Everyone's done it.
So and I was one of those people. So, but the song's good. I mean, and there's a video for it. You can find it on. If you
definitely,
go on YouTube,
everyone needs to go check those out. There's somebody. Anyway, let me just talking about money. Thank you very much to Robot Fighting League for the $10 New Zealand dollar. Sorry, I can't speak. The $10 New Zealand dollar super chat. Get a bit of horn there. And I see that Doug's dropped in.
Yeah,
and by the way, hello Doug. Hope you're
you.
well. We were talking about you. Saying what you've been up to,
like,
really.
And that you shit.
Lots of things do rhyme with cash. But anyway, I was going to say, obviously keep your questions coming into chat. We'll try and answer as many as possible.
Yeah.
So Swim University, I mean, from what I can remember, you got into that because when you were younger, you worked for a swimming pool company. You knew all about pools, cleaning, filters, chemicals, all that kind of stuff, and then it grew from there. And where is it now? Is the bulk of the income still from affiliate marketing? Because I think the last time I saw you were thinking about possibly maybe developing your own products. Did that happen?
Yeah, it did. I'm holding one right now.
Okay. Don't drink that.
No, don't drink that. But I am. Not a lot of it. It used to be like 70% affiliate stuff, mostly almost 100% Amazon, by the way, and then 30% my own digital products. So I do have 4 courses that you can buy, 4 video courses, and that has recently switched as of April of 2020, when Amazon basically like gave the middle finger to most affiliates. I was one of those people, and so I was thankfully had my own products in the works, and I put a lot of effort to promote those better. And I did a lot of that work in 2020 and 2021. So that's been kind of like the majority. It's been flipped now. So 70% of my income comes from digital products that I create and sell, and then the other 30% comes from Amazon. And that's pretty much. And then I'm working on physical products at the moment.
Yeah, so how's the physical products going? What are you looking to like source them from? I don't know, whether in the US or abroad, and then just stick your label on them? How's that going to work?
Yeah, it's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm starting with a couple of products, just again doing some tests to see how it goes. But yes, I'm doing like basically white labeling. Yep, private
What's
labeling.
from manufacturers in the US?
Yeah, and US. Yeah, they got the Made in the USA sticker on it.
Well,
So
I think that's worth something nowadays.
think
If I'm
so.
honest, I'm fed up of the Chinese rubbish that's just
Yeah,
it
it's
falls apart within 2 seconds. It's poor quality. I think there's something to be said when something says made in Great Britain or made in the US. It should stand for a quality product, and that should mean something. But I think we've got to the point now where we don't just want cheap, nasty stuff all the time. We do.
No, that's it's not. I'm not against doing that. It's just yeah, this was just I partnered up with somebody and we kind of worked together on it, and again, it's mainly to figure out like is this a viable option for me. I'm also like with Money Lab. Kind of what I do is I'll experiment in completely different sort of industries to see if like, hey, is this going to work for me? Is this interesting? So I've always found it. I always think, I mean, I grew up in retail. So to me, sort of the online, like selling an actual physical product in an e-commerce store makes way more sense to me than a course, like, cause I've been in it. So this has been very fun to do. We'll just see how it turns out and see if it's something that I'll continue to grow or if it'll flop. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, my one thought is when you say something like that, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, that a lot of people now are choosing to kind of work less, free up some time, do what they want to do with their life. To me, the thought of selling and distributing my own product just sounds like a lot of work. Or is it something that you can kind of outsource? I mean, because you need staff, you need warehouses and all that stuff,
You do. You need all that. I thought it was going to be more difficult, and that's why that's kind of like why I never got into it. I never wanted to, because I'm like, oh, I'm never going to do e-commerce. Forget it. It's too hard. Drop shipping, it sounds messy. So, but when I talked to people that I knew in the industry who kind of gave me, they gave me some help. Like there's a friend of mine who's part of my community named Andy Humphrey. He helped me a lot, kind of like, because he does an e-commerce store and that's how, that's his model. And so we got on calls and he was like, here's how this supply chain works. Here's how you could do it, and you could start small and you could do this. And so for a very small investment, I was able to get like, a decent amount of product and get it up on a store and see what happens. And like, it's right now, it's all just kind of being sold through my own e-commerce platform. So We'll see how it goes. But I haven't made any sales yet, so I have nothing to report at the moment, but I haven't been pushing it because I'm kind of waiting for the inventory to fill up so that I can like really hit it hard. So that's, and a lot of all that, like I'm not really public about that. I'm public obviously now, but most of like the details of that experiment are all in Money Lab Pro right now. And once I've kind of finished it up and I have like something good to report or bad to report, because I'll go either way, then it'll be live on moneylab.co. But for now, it's all kind of internal. And so, yeah, like to answer that question, it's rebranded products that already exist, like like different name, different stuff, but these are products that actually exist already.
You haven't
and that's the
come
thing.
up with a special formula of pool cleaner or anything?
No, so that's what I wanted. I wanted to do that. That's like ultimately I'm hoping that this all works out and that's what I get to do. But a lot of people told me, hey, like before, don't put the cart before the horse, and why don't you try just white labeling or private labeling something and getting your own product, get it and get that like sales, engine underneath your belt or whatever. I don't know how to say what I'm saying, but then I can start to like, invest money and time into developing like my own custom, whatever that does X and promote it, my own way. So, I'm excited. I'm hoping this whole thing works out so that I can get to do that, because I really am interested in working with like engineers and and designing and developing either liquid or consumables or tools that people can use.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds like you really are into creating things. That's really what you like to do.
Yeah.
That's what really lights your fire. as it were.
Yeah.
Gaz, don't worry. We can have questions whenever you like. Just chip them in, and we'll interject them.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever you want to ask them, just ask them. So, tell us a little bit about Brew Cabin, which is your brewery YouTube channel. Is there a course as well that you sell off there? How are you going to monetize that, or is it just for fun?
Yeah, so that's kind of gone through a bunch of iterations, but the current one is it is a website and it is a YouTube channel and it is an Instagram account, and I do have a course that's called Level Up All Grain, and it's it's a very long, very in-depth course on how to brew beer with like very fancy equipment, basically. All different techniques and tricks to basically, if you're doing any sort of brewing, it's and if you want to level up, it's the whole idea. If you wanted to like really, not that you need fancy equipment, because I use fancy equipment in the course, but I always say like, if you don't have this, you can use this or this or this, and these are just the principles that I kind of follow when I make beer. So yeah, I do have a course. I published the course in February, but I did a really bad job at marketing it until like 2 weeks ago. So as of 2 weeks ago, like it's finally starting to like see sales again. But the traffic on that site kind of like it got up to like, I think about 60,000 visitors a month, and now it's back down to like 20. I'm hoping it's going to climb back up after the like the whole Google core vital updates things kind of like settles out again. But once that happens, I'm going right back into like writing content. But most of my focus there has been on the YouTube channel, which I think is like one of the more, and I don't know if this is, worth bragging about. I feel like it's braggable, but I have, I think we just hit like 5,000, a little over 5,000 subscribers, and I have 3 videos on the whole channel.
Yeah, but I mean, the videos they're works of art that you've put, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and time into them to create those videos. And
yeah,
I think that's always been your approach, hasn't it? When it comes to content, it's all about quality rather than quantity.
I think for me, because I'm not really good at showing up and doing consistent work. I'm not good at that. What I like to do is show up for like 2 weeks, 3 months, whatever, and just hone in on one project and complete it. Like the rap album is an example of, I got nothing else done this month, but I took 30 days and like every day I sat down to do an album. And it might have been, and I can bounce back and forth between all the different tasks. Like I could write a beat one day, write lyrics the next day, and then, like work on the album cover in between, just because I need to sort of bounce between all that. But like that has sort of been my MO, and I keep getting reminded that that's my MO, because I always try to go back to like, oh, I need to do a consistent thing and constantly put out, content. And it's like, no, I need to figure out a way to really put all of my effort in, because the thing about like being a jack of all trades, it's like, I like doing all of the things. So like, for example, I'm working on a new video right now for the channel that I'm hoping comes out before October. But I had the idea of building taking a chest freezer and turning it into a kegerator. It's called a keezer. And it's been done a million times. Like, I'm not the first person to have it. In fact, when I saw Doug's keezer, that's what I'm like, ooh, I think I need to make one, because that was awesome. And so like all I had at the time was like 3 taps, and I'm like, ooh, I can do 6 taps. So the thing is that I don't know how to, I literally have never screwed 2 pieces of wood together. Like that's how like I didn't do woodworking in high school. I did AutoCAD, I did computer stuff, but I never did like woodworking. So I thought it would be difficult. And so I decided to take on the project, but try to make something like, I was trying to make a really cool freezer, like a really cool kegerator, right? And so I kind of went above and beyond in the project itself. So I took a white freezer, I painted it black. I added lights and trim board and like a glass rinser and like all kinds of shit to it. And I filmed everything. It took me about 7 days to do it, like to actually build it, you know, and I did a ton of research beforehand because again, I'd never done anything. So I'm like, what's the best way to do a butt joint? I found out what a butt joint was. And I'm like, okay, do I need to do pocket holes? Can I do brackets? Can you just screw screws in? And so like I learned I started watching a ton of woodworking videos and staining videos and like just keezer build videos and sort of took a ton of notes, built my thing, you know, wrote everything down, filmed everything with a tripod and my camera, or my iPhone. So I had like a tripod, had my iPhone. So I was just like getting as much coverage as I could of the whole project. And now it came time to like put the whole thing together. So I am, of course, I can't just play it straight. I can't just do like, here's a how-to video, like put a voiceover over it, you know, and here's a bunch of B-roll. I am doing the idea is HGTV meets Fight Club. So
you're going for some serious production value.
Yeah, well, I'm forced to use what I have. Like I only have the footage I have, like the keezer's built. So I only have the footage I have. So I decided like, well, everything's still, but when you watch HGTV shows, like they're all like, there's a camera crew, there's a film crew. So I had to like in post add like, you know, motion to the camera, like as if somebody was there holding it, like watching me build this thing. And so now I'm doing this trick where I have a twin brother and the property brothers, right? The homebrew brothers, whatever you want to call them. Like he's helping me design this and build this keezer because I don't really know what I'm doing. And then, you know, it kind of goes through all the beats of an HGTV show. But then at the very end, there is no twin. You know, I am the twin and I was able to do it myself. And yeah, so I'm
good.
like,
I can't wait to see
yeah,
that.
I'm trying to make it something, you know, like, so it, you know, first and foremost, I want to make it the best how-to video for building a keezer on YouTube. Like the information is going to be there and the footage is going to be there and like the how-to is going to be there. And then I want to add this layer of like production and entertainment to sort of take it to another level. And again, just for my own.
It sounds good, and I think that's been the key to your success. Actually, is that everything is of very high quality. You know, on Swim University as well, all the content that you put out is all very high quality. And you know, you like to put a lot of effort into everything you do. Let's just go to a quick couple of questions from the crowd very quickly. Do you have any internal linking recommendations? A bit of a technical kind of SEO sort of question.
Yeah, I guess.
Do some internal links.
Yeah. I use Yoast for my SEO, and I use Admin Columns Pro for how to display your post in WordPress. And so under each post, I can see in like the post window in WordPress, I can see how many links are going to that post, right?
Okay.
So then I just sort by which posts have the least amount of internal links and that need the most help. So if I need to optimize a post, I'll go into that post and I'll go into other posts and start adding internal links back to that post manually, you know, because I don't like the idea of going into like, I mean, I thought about using Link Whisper, but what I don't like about maybe that idea is I need context. So I need to go into an article, read what's being, you know, taught and go, oh, right now we're talking about testing pool water. So let me write another sentence that's like, hey, and if you want more information about how to test your water, like check out our guide. And it's like, and link it that way so that
I think that's always the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just going like, hey, anytime I mention the word water testing, just link that. Cause then it can, I feel like when you look at a post, it's just going to be a bunch of blue links.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone ever clicks on those links because they think, well, where does that go? What is that? But if you actually say, you know, read our guide on pool water and just have that at one time within the content, I think that's much more sensible.
Yeah, so that's kind of the way that I approach it. But I use the Yoast tool mixed. So I have Yoast. So I think you need Yoast Premium, unfortunately. So Yoast Premium, and you need Admin Columns Pro, which is also paid. But those two things basically allows me to see from the post screen in WordPress how many links are going to those individual posts. And then if I if I go in and optimize a post, I'm like, oh, it's only got 2 links going to it. Maybe I need to better link that together. And so I'll go and find relevant posts that I think has content that would service that post. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. And do you think that has a big effect on the ranking of those posts, those internal links?
No, if I'm being honest, because I think I think it's good for the reader. So like,
yeah,
what's good for the reader is good for the Google, right? So it's like,
it's got to be.
I think that's the truth there. But the way that your site is structured, I spend a lot of time and thought on that as well. So like, you can get to every single article on my website by like a click or two, from like the homepage, from any page, right? You can get to links quick. So yeah, for me, it's kind of like Google has no problem crawling my site. You know what I mean? So I don't think I need more internal links to create that, but I do think it helps, the reader for sure. So again, like, I'm not doing it for an SEO move. I'm doing it for a reader move.
Yeah. I know you say that should follow through to your SEO anyway.
Yeah,
Super finally asks, obviously this is regarding the beer course. Did the course deteriorate in quality as you got more drunk? That must have been a bit of an issue possibly when you're creating content around beer to try and remain sober-ish.
Yeah. So I kind of have to be sober to brew, or else I make a million mistakes. I forget things. Like when Doug came over to brew, and I don't think we weren't drinking that much, but like I completely forgot that I had left this, like, the chiller on, and it like overflowed, and like I was like, God, so you kind of just
you have to wait till you're finished. Wait till you finish before you have a beer.
I try to, like, and for the most part I do, especially if I'm making a complicated beer. But if I'm in there just making like a, just a simple ass smash pale ale or whatever, and I've done it a million times, like, you can kind of drink and get through it. But yeah, most of the time I like being alone and I like being sober, Yeah. But then, I do like brewing when people are there, but then I get caught talking and I
Should we have a drink? Yeah, and you have a drink, and yeah.
You have a drink, yeah, exactly. So no, I didn't drink during the making of that course.
Yeah. Dave asks,
there were no livers harmed in the making of that course.
Have you still only got 200 posts on your swim site?
That's correct.
So you don't really add any new content to the site?
No,
is it just because you've covered everything? Oh, right, you delete the older stuff.
Yeah, we'll delete stuff that, like, I do a content audit like 2 times a year, so, okay. We're actually performing one, I think in the next week or so, kind of looking through and saying, which posts could be combined to make a better post. Are these keywords still the right keywords to go after with these posts? And if anybody who's followed me knows that, like, I treat my websites like encyclopedias, or like textbooks is my phrase, because you can update a textbook and resell it every year. You know what I mean? It's the new edition. So I treat my site as like a new edition each year, as opposed to sense. And sometimes we need to add stuff. Like right now, we get some questions about stock tank pools because that became like a big thing, and we don't have any content on stock tank pools. But I have to look at the keywords to see if, like, that's even worth going after, and what it is, how it is I'm going to monetize that. And if we get enough questions, that it's like, okay, we need to develop an article that's specifically for this type of swimming pool. Okay. So, yeah.
I don't know what that kind of swimming pool is. What is it? What is a stock tank pool?
It is a giant metal, like a stock tank, I think, is like what they use in like farms to feed horses.
Okay. Well, people are making
like,
pools
it's like
out
a
of
giant metal. It's like a giant metal tub. Right. And you can like convert it into add a filter and do all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
It's just a really cheap way to like have a sturdy swimming pool.
Yeah. Gaz says he launched his site about 3 weeks ago and he's got just under 400 page views so far. I'm surprised. I thought it would be flatline from others. Not necessarily. It really depends on the domain, the niche, the links, the content. Carl says that you sound very busy. Are you very busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always doing something.
Yeah, it's good to keep busy.
Yeah.
Hi, hi, says Baz. Matt is an excellent writer. There you go. Does he have any writing tips and tips on writing really good content? That's a
Yeah.
good question. How
Don't go
do
to
you?
college.
Okay, yeah,
Don't pass any English class. Be a so I've never had any formal writing training. So I don't know
okay,
how to write like a formal person, right? Like I don't know how to write a sales letter or like a, business letter. Um and so I've always just kind of I've always and I don't really have any when I first started I didn't have any grammar skills at all. Like I didn't know how to use a period. I didn't know what a semicolon was.
yeah,
I didn't know how to use commas. I didn't know what an Oxford comma was until the Vampire Weekend song came out. So like a lot of this stuff I didn't really understand. And so when I would write, I just wrote like stream of conscious how I talk,
yeah,
so I'm just throwing down words. And so I still write that way. But the biggest piece of advice that I got later in life, and I don't remember where it came from. I don't want to give this person credit, but I think I have to. James Altucher.
okay,
I don't want to give him credit because I think he's like a crypto bro, and I don't want to give any credence to those idiots. But the I think he had said something like write and like use periods more often. And when I was like, okay, I understand how to use a period. Like that's a real simple one. And so instead of like trying to use commas and semicolons and dashes and like just come to hard stops. Like you can
just
come to hard
write
stops
shorter
and you're right.
sentences. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. And like it was very like Hemingway. If you read any Andy Weir books, like he's very like short sentence stuff. He doesn't really kind of expel his he doesn't really have long sentences. And then I
yeah,
also realized that like so that to me was a constraint, right? It was like, oh, just use short sentences. And then I started to learn how to use commas better, right? And so
yeah,
it's like, okay, now I can kind of like, kind of massage sentences a little bit. Now I can use now I know how to use a semicolon as a like a punchline. Like it's like as like to think about like timing in comedy or in music. It's like
mm.
using a semicolon is, it's not a period, it's like a period and a comma. So it's like it's kind of long, it's kind of, and there's just different punctuations now that I think about it in timing, not necessarily in like what's correct to use.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
but yeah, so it's really kind of like write with a lot of periods, and then honestly, it's editing a lot of editing, and I really enjoy editing anything.
So
Like
just
I
going
just
back through
love
what
it.
you've written and
Oh
just
my
cutting
god.
stuff out, rewriting stuff, moving
Yeah,
stuff about.
I'll sometimes so like there was a challenge I did to myself. So I did this end of the year review, and I do an end of the year review on my site every year. And for 2020, I wrote like 7,000 words or something. Like because you're just journaling your whole year, so it's just like and I have a journal that I keep, so I can go back to the journal and just write as much. I write as much shit as I can. And then I made it a point like, okay, I have this much crap that I have like 7,000 words. I'm going to force myself to edit down to 2,020 words,
Wow.
just and so, and even that sentence of me saying that, like, by the way, this article is 2,020 words was like part of it too. So like it forced me to look at my content and pick and choose what got to stay, what was more interesting than other things. Or hey, I spent 3 sentences explaining something, and let me try to do that in like 4 words, and so
Yeah.
I look at like, yeah, every sentence becomes like a little puzzle to solve in a way that you can make it punchier and shorter and more to the point, or like
I think that's a great
so
way. I
I
think
do a
that,
couple of
yeah, that works. Because I think people
and I,
now, especially on the internet, they don't have any attention span anyway. They can't be
right.
bothered to read 8,000 words. They want to know information like bang, bang, bang. They just want to bullet point it if possible.
I honestly think that that's why people think my writing is good, because I don't, and the other pass that I go through is I go through and punch it up. So like I not only will I make everything short and like concise, I'll go back and go, how do I make this more entertaining? And
Yeah.
that might be literally moving entire blocks of writing, because I need it, this needs to be this hits better than this hits, so let me move this up here, you know, and then go back and say like, okay, that sentence is short, but like it could be funny. Like I could add like a bit to the end of this. And so like, you know, I'll go ahead and do that, you know, as well.
That's good. I think that's good too. I think a lot of people do write stuff and then they don't maybe spend any time on editing. They spend a lot of time on writing, but not so much time on editing. And you're probably right in saying that the editing is probably more important than the actual writing in the first place.
Yeah, and I hate writing. Like I just absolutely hate it. So like sitting down to write is painful for me to do. Sitting down to edit is a joy.
It's
so
fun.
Really, I just like blindly just get words out, you know. And thank God for like, you know, AI now. If you know, I could just like let the AI shit out something awful, and then I can go in and edit it so it actually looks, you know, and reads like a human being.
Yeah, we love AI. Gaz, the stats show on analytics but not on Search Console. That doesn't sound normal, but sometimes Search Console can take a while to get data in, so just give it a bit more time, maybe. Have I gone offline? Are we still? I thought we were still online. Are we? It looks okay.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, good. Someone just downloaded something downstairs. Maybe let me just keep going and see what questions. We're a little bit behind on the chat, so let's see if we can catch up. What was the second plugin tool you mentioned that shows the posts and ranks into a link? Something Columns, was it?
Admin Columns Pro.
Admin Columns Pro. Okay. Sorry if it's buffering. I don't know what the problem is there. Hopefully it's sorted itself out. Probably is Doug's fault. Hassan asks, why don't you build or buy any new niche websites or niche websites?
I did. I thought Brew Cabin was pretty new.
Yeah, that's pretty new. I don't think you haven't bought any or sold any sites, have you? I don't think.
I've sold a site, yes. I sold Roasty Coffee.
Okay.
That site is doing very, very well. And not under my tutelage. And that was the reason I sold it, because I was like, I know this site could be huge and I can't do it. I don't really want to do it either. You know what? I'm not against buying and selling I'm not against the idea of buying a site, right? I think one day for Money Lab, I think it would be crazy interesting to purchase a website and flip it, you know, like do my magic on a site and really like make it sing.
And that would make a great video, wouldn't it? Yeah. A great bit of content.
Make a great video, start to finish. That would be awesome. The only thing that's holding me back from actually doing that experiment or that challenge is I hate shopping. So I need somebody to say to me like, hey, this website would be an awesome buy for you. You know, it's $5,000, you know, semi-affordable. You know, you should do this as an, you know, that to me, $5,000 is probably like the max I would spend to do an experiment like this. And I just don't have the patience to go on like Flippa and sit there and look for a website worth buying. It's just personally, I don't have, again, like I'm not a person that shows up consistently and does the same thing over and over again. So for me, I would have to have somebody else do it for me and go like, hey, I think this would be a good fit for you. And then, you know, kind of give it to me to run with and do it. But until I get that email, probably not going to do it.
Okay.
But I have sold a site. So
yeah, that's good.
I'm not starting any new ones from scratch because I gave myself gave myself a rule that I'm not supposed to do that anymore because I kept doing it. So
you've got enough stuff to deal with it.
I got 3 things. They all take up. I'm busy.
Yeah, you got enough. David asks, any recommended courses on how to code your own theme? How did you learn to code? Because you've obviously got the fantastic Carbonate theme.
Right. Yeah, I developed my own theme, and we have like it's for sale, you know. So I would say I didn't take any courses on code. It's just like, you know, you kind of like, I guess for me, I wanted to build a website, and I had an idea for a website, and that was my project. And so you just sit down and you Google and you YouTube and you know, for me, I like to do learning on demand. Like I don't like taking a full course taking notes and just sitting there, and I'm
No,
so bored.
yeah. If
by
you need to
that.
do something, you learn how to do that particular thing, and then
Yeah,
move on. Yeah,
like I open the program and I'm like, okay, how do I do a theme? And then like, just Google like what's the theme breakdown and try to like, literally like watch a video on one screen and do it on another screen.
yeah,
So, I don't, people have asked me in my community that I should make some sort of like very basic HTML, CSS course, just to get by with WordPress. I might do it because it's something I get asked about a lot, but right now the only thing that I really have is if you buy Carbonate, my theme, it comes with basically a course on how to code it. So that honestly would be like the best place to start. And I'm not just trying to pitch my own shit. Like that's like it's the bare boniest code of all time, and so like if you can learn on that platform, then then you can kind of like be real dangerous with it. So
yeah. That's a good tip. Keith, this kind of goes back to what we were just talking about here about starting new projects, but also working on the ones you've already got. How do you stick with the site for such a long time without getting bored? How do you keep it fresh and interesting? Like Swim University, you've had that for ages. Are you not bored of pools?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every 3 months, you know what it is, it's perspective. Like it has to be something else. I am not interested. Like I grew up in the pool industry. I know this subject. I wouldn't say that I'm like necessarily interested in it, but what I am interested in is this, like what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
and like all of the things that surround it. So like I can trick my brain into writing a really good piece of pool content because I am more interested in the idea of writing a good piece of content,
Yeah.
sans
Than the
topic,
actual subject
than
of the
anything.
content. Yeah.
Right. So like it becomes a challenge to myself where I'm like, I'm going to make the best thing ever. Like what's no one else going to do? Like how can I go the extra mile? And it's like, you know what? I can do a graphic that no one else will make. So I'm going to go make this graphic, or like I'm going to go make this video, or this like animated GIF to stick in the middle of this post, or like I'm going to build a little mini PHP calculator. Like and I kind of just keep it interesting, and not and but keep the like the blinders on of like, you're working on Swim University, that is your flagship, like you're lucky to have that. So you know I know that you're bored, I know you want to go homebrew, I know you want to do like a friggin' Keezer video, but like,
Yeah.
hey, today you have to do this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, and so
Get
tricking
perspective.
my brain into doing something amazing in my little pocket is kind of the way I do it without getting bored.
It's a great tip, and I think that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us have sites in different niches and niches. Some that we are interested in, and some that we're maybe not so interested in. But the actual interest and passion should come with creating content, creating a good site, and as Matt says, doing some other things that are different to what other people are doing out there. That can be
Like
exciting.
it's almost like treating it like a Scorsese film, but it's an affiliate list about the best tents. But
Yeah.
so it's almost like I think that's really fun, and it gets you to think creatively, and then also thinking about it as a project. It's not something that you have to crush and like turn into like a machine. I mean, at least for me, I don't like the idea of like, oh my God, we got to do an article every week. It's like this machine that like has to pump out this stuff. I'd rather pump out like an unbelievable piece once a month, and your audience is going to respect and trust you way more if you put the time and effort in there, because they can read through it, they can see through it.
Yeah.
So the same with YouTube, I think the same with podcasts. When you really like the best podcast of all time is like Serial, right? Like that was insane. It's like, what was it, 10 episodes, and it's like still considered like the best podcast ever made. And it was like
Really.
just
Oh.
somebody who just took the time and made something like 10 amazing things that's really condensed, and here we are. So it's like, and that's going to live on forever, you know what I mean? And then anything that she wants to do, or any new podcast, like it's going to be a hit. So I kind of feel like you can kind of that's me. That's how I treat sort of like
No,
online
but a lot of
business.
people,
It's
you're
not-
right, they do just want to churn out as much as possible when it comes to content. They think, oh, I need to do 10,000 words a week, or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you are going to be sacrificing the quality. And as you say, at the end of the day, content is what people are looking for, and they're looking for quality content. And Google and the rest of the search engines and YouTube and everything, that's what they're looking for as well. They want the good stuff, really. And
Yeah.
gone are the days of just kind of spamming out some old rubbish. What do you do when you hit the article wall and you struggle to find more angles on your content, on your niche? But as you say, I think you already touched on this, where you just go back through some of the old content, revise it, make it more current, make it better.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what I do. So I will, find a post that needs to be updated or optimized, right? So I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And so what I'll do is, I have a primary keyword associated with every post. I will go into incognito mode in, Chrome and search that keyword on Google. And I will just start, opening up every tab of every single result. And I'll, there's that whole, like, people also ask question boxes, and you just keep opening them, and they just more and more questions keep coming up. So you just keep getting those, and you basically just build out, like, this huge, like, what's the internet saying about this topic, right? And going through that and finding the pieces that your content is missing that you think would be good, and also, like, deciding, what the internet itself is missing, and that's not talking about. And then going into that post and trying to develop something that answers everybody's questions while being succinct, while, that has helpful links to external resources, internal resources, videos, like just creating a multimedia experience around, like, answering someone's question or multiple people's questions. And so, like, there's never a wall, because it's not you go out and you find the angle, you do the research, you become a journalist, and that's what you do. I'm not going to sit there and go, like, or you literally, email your list of people and go, like, what did I miss here? What are you struggling with when it comes to this? Do you even know that this exists? Oh, okay, maybe I need to do a better job at explaining it in the beginning, and maybe it, needs to be somewhere else on my website, or, whatever. So yeah, I don't think there's any wall. It's not possible to hit a wall.
There's
personally.
always more to do, more to add, more questions to answer. Okay, I'm going to just scroll through a bit, because we've fallen behind a little bit.
I'm a little long-winded, so
it's fine. That's fine. I like a comprehensive answer. One thing I will just say is we're currently on 56 likes. If we get up to 88 likes, you could win something. So get a few more likes going in. 88, of course, because of that. So
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Vaisalas. I'm interested, I guess that's interested in affiliate marketing, but hate writing articles and blogs. So where do I start and how? And then
You don't. That's
yeah, you can't.
Yeah, same. But guess what? You're going to become a writer if you want to get into this world. Otherwise, find another job.
Yeah, or videographer. Maybe you can possibly do it through video. But
yeah, you know what though? You say that, right? I was watching an interview with Marquez Brownlee.
Right.
He says that his job, the thing that he does the most, is write. And he's like, I'm not a writer. He's like, always thought he was doing video, but, like, when he looks at his day, he's mostly writing scripts.
Yeah, there is a lot of writing.
So
and then there's turning video content into articles. There's sending emails. There's a lot of writing involved. So if you don't want to do writing, then maybe affiliate marketing is not for you. Of course, you could outsource all the writing, but you need some money to do that.
Yeah, do something else. You
definitely win the prize for the most question marks this evening, though. On that particular question, there must be over 20 question marks, which is a lot of punctuation. JP's back here, is up there. Maybe it's not the right thing. Okay. Watch again later, Rich. That's fine. Jack says, on a new affiliate site with 6 blog posts and a few backlinks, I still get 0 day traffic. Bad niche. It's about fridges. That's a big question, Jack. But probably
I'm
6
sure there's
posts.
people searching about fridges.
Yeah, and I'm not sure 6 posts are going to be enough. Of course, it depends on what those 6 posts are. Did you do some research? Are you answering the questions that people are asking on the internet? As Matt just said, you need to kind of see what people are looking for with regards to fridges. Then answer it. It does sound like fridges might be a little bit restrictive, but I don't know. You can always scale out into other white goods, white appliances.
Hey, if it gives you any vote of confidence, I own 5 refrigerators.
There's a lot of money being spent
right?
on fridges.
I have 2 chest freezers, a kegerator, a can fridge, a bottle fridge, and a regular. I have 6 refrigerators in my home.
Are they mainly for beer? Do you have food in any of those fridges?
Two of them are one of them is for food. One of them is for food. The other one's a chest freezer. It's half hops and half like frozen food.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, you have to freeze your hops. I didn't realize. I guess you do keep them fresh.
You want to. I buy it in bulk, so yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Wondering if we'll be able to compete with tech fridges. I mean, you've got to... not tech fridges. Tech websites. It's about fridges. You've got to find your angle. I'm sure they're not covering fridges in the kind of detail that you possibly can. If they're more of a thing. Josh says, I wouldn't target products, but then, Josh is very much in the information space now with his website. It's just, providing information, monetizing through ads, which of course is a fine thing to do as well. And Josh targets hobbies or needs, which is perfect. I'm still targeting products. I mean, I do it different. Best pressure washer. Sold another couple of pressure washers just this week. It's going. People are still.
Yeah, it can be done.
It can be done, and I think if you just got to get it right, you just got to provide some good content on all of these. It's really whatever way you want to approach it. Don't worry about those big sites. They always miss areas. They often have very big general articles, and if you can get into specifics, you can be fine. Matt has mentioned Yoast already, but what more tools do you use for SEO keyword research? I think he just said it. He gets on Google, searches for stuff, looks at the questions, looks at the results, and you get a ton of ideas from there. Do you actually have any specific kind of keyword tools that you use?
Yeah, I use Ahrefs.
Ahrefs, okay. That's an expensive one.
And I use Headline Analyzer.
Okay.
I'm dabbling in ClearScope, and there's ClearScope, Rank IQ. There's all these different tools that are kind of helps you find keywords that you're missing within your content. So kind of messing with that a little bit.
Yeah, there's loads of tools.
Yoast, obviously.
There's loads. You can spend loads of money and time with these tools, but to be fair, Google gives you a lot of information for free, and that is obviously the most reliable information, because all of the other tools, they just kind of guess a little bit at the information. They scrape Google or they use other sources. I've been playing around with Low Fruits, which seems interesting.
Low Fruits it's called?
Lowfruits.io. There's wpeagle.com/lowfruits is the affiliate link if you want to check it out. There's a link probably below. But basically what that does is it kind of scrapes Google around a keyword, so it's looking at the results a bit like you kind of do manually, and it will identify, okay, so the top one is not really answering the right question, or it's a forum, or it's just some other site that's not particularly well ranked or answering it. And it basically shows you where there's opportunities, where there's gaps in the content, very similar to what you do manually. It seems good. It's an early tool because I did it on a live stream the other week and we managed to crash it, and there was only 10 of us or something jumped on at the same time. So it's fine. But the developer and founder of that, I think, is going to be on with me next week, all being well. So we'll see how that goes. Jim asks, what beer are you drinking at the moment? I don't think you're actually drinking beer, are you?
No, I'm drinking seltzer water.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit early for you over there, I guess, for a beer. Is it? Do you drink
Never
beer every day? Here's another question. Do you drink beer every day?
No. I look like I do. I do not. I probably drink it like mostly just kind of the weekends, or if I'm, I might have one on a Thursday.
Yeah.
But I kind of like do it over the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not in the week? Why not just spread it out over the week? Are you not as productive after a few beers? Is it? I don't know.
That's you know what? It's not that I'm not. It's to me, beer is it's like a signifier that it's time to relax.
Okay,
And so it's like it's time to concentrate on that. Like I just can't. I'm not gonna like sit here and casually drink because I enjoy like thinking about it as I'm drinking it. So you know what I mean? Like it's it's much more to me than just a beverage.
it makes you want to spend time, enjoy it, and relax with it. And,
Yeah, think about it, understand it, you know, diagnose it, but also chat with friends and yeah.
That sounds perfect. You gotta respect all these things.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got a really well written and concise article, would you advocate a 500 to 600 word article?
You're asking the wrong question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, God, if I have to hear, who cares how many words?
Yeah.
I know that people in the SEO world like to sit there and say like, your article needs to be 1,200 words or, I can make an article about, I can make an article about a index card, 1,200 words if you ask me to. That's the easiest thing I could do. It's paper, blue. It's got.
And then talk about the whole paper milling process. That you could.
I could go on forever. Yeah, and it's like, I think it's you have to know the topic. Whatever the topic is, you do your research. It's not. I can't sit here and tell you like how many words it's going to take. No. But for me, it's how many words it needs to take, and nothing more than that.
As long as it needs to be, that's it. Yeah. Don't fluff.
If you're adding fluff. Yeah, if you're adding words just because you're trying to meet, some sort of arbitrary word count, which makes no sense, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I think a lot of even the big SEO, like Income School and those guys, they've changed their tack. They used to say you need so many of these really long posts, you need some of these short posts. Now they're just saying be precise. And in fact, they're kind of speaking a similar way to Matt and saying that if you have a concise, a really well written article that's been optimized, that will probably outrank something that's longer and fluffy and actually doesn't get to the point and deliver the information quickly. So anyway, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, Matt. You've been on for an hour or so. I don't know if we're going to get through all these questions. We're still a little bit short on the likes. We're up to 63. How many people? There's only 60 people.
We can try to rapid fire if you want. Let's rapid fire. I'll keep it short.
Let's rapid fire through some of these things. Where's your? I did give you a horn earlier. Finally, you have another one. Conversion AI content for informational articles. As Matt's already said, you can use any of the AI tools to get you going on writing about something, but then you need to go in and edit it.
I feel like it's good for it's good to for the intro, post, but once you start getting into the details, it's usually wrong and don't trust it. Like I tried it to write like how-to content for swimming pools, and it just gets shit wrong constantly, so you can't use it.
Yeah. It's good for your general stuff. Specific details, it gets wrong, as Matt said, and I've proved that many times on stream. But it's good to get you kind of flowing and get you started and overcome your writer's block, all that kind of thing. Get some words on the page.
It's great for sales copy.
Yeah, it loves that stuff. And you say the intro paragraph, the outro summary kind of paragraph, perfect for that. Even writing about products, when you've got a whole load of products you want to write about, you can just go onto Amazon, you can grab what people are saying from the reviews, get all that together, and it will start to construct some paragraphs and sentences about that. And before you know it, you've got an article. Mark, who asked, how do you structure your content? I think you've touched on that. You're kind of using questions from Google. You don't have a specific template or anything you use, do you?
No.
Or do you? No. Any success using dictation as an alternative to writing?
Like talking
at a computer and it writing for you,
sounds like a lot of editing work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Stuart's made a nice statement there. There's not really any bad niches. It really depends on your approach you take each topic within your site. Also, 6 posts are not enough. Okay, we're still talking about 6 posts. Yes, they're not enough. See you later, Baz. He's already gone. Maybe we should get some affiliate links. We're talking about the fridges still, as Amazon doesn't offer many fridges. Does it not? I thought there'd be loads. Does it not? Have you bought a fridge on Amazon, Matt?
I brought it. Yeah, the one of my chest freezers was off of Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's obviously some out there.
But yeah, I
Carl's
bought
got to
mine
go.
from like Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, they'll all have affiliate programs. Do lifestyle or topic blogs work better than product-specific blogs? I'd imagine they're a lot more fun to write for. Obviously, if it is something that's within your lifestyle and something you're into, then it will be more fun than writing about fridges, probably.
Yeah.
What are the best content?
I'd be more worried about monetizing.
Yeah. I mean, with the kind of info, lifestyle things, you can monetize with ads, and there is going to be affiliate opportunities as well, of course. There always is products to talk about. What are the best content to go for? That's a big question, but generally content that people are looking for is probably the best content.
Yeah.
How long to get traffic on a new website and how many articles? It depends. It depends. You got any thoughts on that?
Well, Brew Cabin has 40 articles, and at one point I was at 60,000 visitors a month. So there's a number.
It depends on the niche. If you look at any of my case studies, you'll see that it's very different in terms of when they start to get traffic, how many articles I've done. Depends on the niche, depends on the content, depends on so many things. But it generally is longer than you think. It's generally longer than you think.
4 years. Give it 4 years.
4 years. Does the sports niche have a high-paying EPMV?
I don't know anything about sports.
I don't know. Maybe boxing does. Maybe football doesn't. I don't know. I wouldn't choose a niche based on EPMV because that figure changes all the time, and it's even specific on the content where the ads are shown. Okay, I think I've caught up with everything. So that was quick. Any more quick questions for Matt before we... Let's have a look at the likes. What are we up to? 67. I think I might be able to do something with 67, especially if we can get up to 70. Did I get Matt to backlink to my swim signs site? No, I didn't. I wonder how swim signs is doing. I created a site in the swimming pool niche. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it all signs are like don't pee in our pool?
Yeah.
Don't pee in your
There's surprisingly little content you can actually write about swimming pool signs.
Oh, but did you make the signs and sell them?
No, they were just on Amazon. I just basically I had the domain swimsigns.com from an old thing. And I wanted to set up a site, and it was one of those WooZone sites. So it was like an e-commerce site that pulls in products from Amazon, and then when people check out, it redirects them to Amazon. I wanted to do that for a tutorial. The tutorial did well on YouTube. And then I came to like adding blog posts, and there was only a few like the best vintage pool signs or funny pool signs, which is generally about peeing in the pool. That's the crux of it, really.
Yeah,
I think I gave that site away, didn't I, on a stream? I think it's still up. I think they've taken out the e-commerce site. Anyway, have you had or have you made gluten-free lager before?
No, but both my girlfriend and my brother are gluten-free, and we do have a really good gluten-free brewery around here called Holidaily. So I usually just buy their stuff and always have it on hand. It is something I definitely want to try, but I know it's really difficult to do. So I'm gonna have to interview some people. I'm gonna do a lot of research before I do that.
It could be good. You do have lager though, do you? Do you have lager?
Yeah, but I've never made one.
Maybe you call it Pilsner. Is Pilsner a similar thing, or is that a style of lager?
No. It's a style of lager. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's one of my. I love lagers. I haven't done it. I've just mostly been making ales, but I have the capacity to do it, and I'm gonna do it this year, but haven't done it yet.
Lager is
15
probably
years. I've never done one.
The most popular style of beer over here, probably. I'd say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cold
I'm working on my Keyser video. I have my next video is about growing and using your own homegrown hops. My third video that I already have the idea for is making real ale and getting a beer engine and
like
actually
English style. Real ale.
So I'm very excited to do that. I'm very excited because anything that comes out of a cask, I'm like it's the best beer I'll have that day. Like I'm a sucker for it.
I actually
And
went to the pub at the weekend and had some cask beer because it's actually a hard thing to find over here to get a decent cask beer.
Really?
Because it's not that popular still. Most people would rather have a cold fizzy lager.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, so you have to find the right pub. Luckily, I'm friends with the landlord of a pub in my town here that has fantastic real ale. Keeps it well, you know, because once they crack a cask, they have to sell it within 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, they have to throw it. Yeah, they have to throw it. Yeah. And it's, you know, proper cellar temperature because sometimes it comes warm, and which is kind of what people think ale is, kind of warm and flat. And yeah. But a proper, real nice ale should be, you know, cellar temperature and slightly effervescent, not flat.
Yeah. Yep. I'm very excited. I'm buying a beer engine from overseas and getting it shipped here, and it's all part of the video content.
Perfect. So yeah, and well, my wife used to work at the brewery here in town, and they're a real ale brewery, so I used to get lots of real ale. But anyway, let's wrap up. I'm going to do a giveaway. We haven't quite hit 88 likes, but you know, it's just a number. So let's transition and let's get the music going. Okay, so if you want to win something, let me get Matt up here on the left. There he is. Got the funky tunes on. Put you up. I'll make this bigger. I'm gonna go bigger. So if you want to win something, it could be some WP Eagle merch. Could be a copy of the popcorn theme. Whatever you like, really. Just say something in the chat in the next 30 seconds. Let's get the wheel of names up. You ever thought about doing any merch?
I did a T-shirt once for my rap album, actually, and that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I did just get my own custom beer glasses for my brewery, so I'm not selling them, but you know.
Well, I think a custom beer glass is the way forward. Anyway, let's get some people's names. Wow, everyone's saying things. Why don't you say put your favourite beer in the chat? That would be interesting. You got another 15 seconds. Okay. 10 seconds. Lager, says David. Grand Rapids in Michigan is Beer City, USA.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Have you ever been to Grand Rapids?
I've not. My girlfriend's been.
Okay. Guinness, someone said there. Theakston's, another one. Henry Weston's cider. I know Gaz likes his cider. Corona. I said beer. Corona. God. Budweiser, oh man, what have I created? No, Budweiser, okay. Budweiser's like sweet. It tastes sweet to me, Budweiser.
Yeah.
Although over here we have two different Budweisers. We have the American Budweiser, then also the Czechoslovakian Budweiser, which I've got to say is far superior. Miller, says Keith. Lots of good beers coming in. Guinness is there again. Guinness is like a full meal, isn't it?
Yeah, I do love it though.
It's a proper stout. Right, I'm scooping up. I've got all the way down to Vivek. You are the last one to go in with the wheel of names. Let's get a drum roll. Where's the drum roll? Yeah, I'm thirsty now. I'm just going to get a beer. Tyler, I think it's going to be Tyler. Tyler, well done. Are you there, friend? If you are, you need to drop me an email. Let me know what you'd like. If it's a copy of popcorn, then let me know and I'll sort you out with a license. If it's a t-shirt, you need to let me know your size and where you live. And if it's a mug, just let me know where you live. I'll get something sent out to you. Well done, Tyler. It was very close, wasn't it, Russell? Tell you what, we'll do one more just because it's Tuesday. Don't say you never win anything, Gaz, otherwise you'll never win anything. Maybe. I like cruise ships. Congratulations. Thank you, Simplified Gardening. I do miss the chat. Congratulations. So both of you, if you drop me an email to eagle@wpeagle, that'd be great. But let's just see if we can make Matt full screen. Oh, don't crash, please. There we go. Thank you, Matt, for joining me tonight.
Appreciate it.
Do go check out some of Matt's stuff.
As well the rest of the day.
Yeah, you still got the rest of the day. I mean, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night here. We're probably going to be winding down. But if there's nothing else that you do today, I think you should all go and check out Matt's rap album. Give that a listen. Put that on while you're creating some content. It will probably help, I think, with whatever you're doing today.
I think it's moneylab.co/rap.
Okay. Is that the best?
Yes, it
Well,
is.
if you just Google Matt's name, you'll find, I think the first listing is all about his musical career. So do go check that out. Also, obviously, check out moneylab.co, and if you just search on YouTube for Moneylab, you'll find Matt. There's some great videos and live streams and stuff on there. But yeah, I'll let you go. In fact, just wait in the green room for 2 seconds, and I'll just catch you. I'll sign off over here, though, and yeah, give me 1 minute. Okay. Did you enjoy that?
You're still on the air, it says.
Yeah, I am still on the air, yeah. I'm talking to them. I'll be back to you in a second.
Who's them?
The people watching.
Oh.
I'm just going to sign off over here. Yes, it's a thing I do. Matt, are you still on? Oh, are you still there as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of you. Bye-bye, Matt.
All right, see ya.
There we go. There we go. Technology, you know I'm good with it. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Professional editing as always. We'll cut that out later. Who introduced Matt to me? That was Doug, who was on a couple of weeks back. Introduced me to Matt. And then Matt introduced me to Miles. And, that's how it goes round. I'll be back again on Thursday. We'll be finishing off that article that I was creating using Jarvis. The one that I researched on low fruits. So hopefully you can join me then. But yeah, I don't know about other content this week. I'm busy working on dart picks. I really want to get that site kind of done, ready for flipping. So a lot of effort going in there. But if I'm inspired to create a video, I will of course upload it for you guys. And there will be some shorts as usual. So make sure you subscribe to make sure you don't miss them. But anyway, thank you all. Be sure to check out my video on Monday about the affiliate gathering. It'd be really good to see some of you guys there. Hassan says he thinks he introduced Matt to me. Maybe, I forgot. If you did, thank you very much, Hassan. But on that note, I'll bid you farewell and have a good week and good luck with your sites. 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't know why Siri's come up. 2, 1. See you on Thursday. Let's transition.